Breakfast Broadcast from 7 to 9 with Kelly Trask.
Good morning and happy Friday. Kelly Trask along with you for the Breakfast Broadcast, and happy to have Lindsay with us, the Senior VP of Elder Advisors, with us on the Breakfast Broadcast. Want to remind you can listen to the show online 24/7. Actually, you can listen to it on demand because we're fancy like that. And you can click the on demand and find this episode or previous episodes. That way you can get all the information about Elder Advisors as you need it. Hey, Lindsay, tell us a little bit about Elder Advisors. What do you do? What area in Southern Indiana do you serve? And how people can get connected?
Well, yeah, thank you so much for having me on today. So, yeah, Elder Advisors is serving basically anywhere in the state of Indiana. So we have offices in New Albany, but we have clients all the way to Greensburg and even further north. So Evansville over to almost the Ohio border. So we are serving seniors and their families in the state of Kentucky and helping folks with all things that pertain to aging and their golden years. So helping folks do estate planning, helping folks to navigate the complicated healthcare system, helping folks with their IRAs and dreaded required minimum distributions or RMDs, all the things that have to do with everything you've worked your entire life for. We're serving families and helping them protect their assets and providing them peace of mind as well.
That's amazing. So if someone listening would like to schedule an appointment or learn more, Lindsay, what's the best way they can connect with you?
Yeah, so absolutely. The first consultation, of course, in our office is always free. We're never charging for that. We want to meet you. We want to sit down with you. And you can schedule that appointment by calling 800-763-7930, 800-763-7930, or, of course, finding us on the great intraweb at www.elderadvisors.com.
All right.
So you will find us there.
I love that. Okay, when we come back, we'll talk more with Lindsay about how you can get connected and navigate the years that we're all going to be in if we're not already. And you can talk with Elder Advisors. They've been doing this a long time. They're going to help you navigate those waters and making sure that you're keeping the resources that you've worked hard for. We'll be back here on the Breakfast Broadcast. I'm Kelly Trask. Cruising right along this morning on the Breakfast Broadcast. We're visiting with Elder Advisors today. We have Lindsay with us. She's the Senior VP. And Lindsay, I know a lot of people may kind of understand on a surface level what Elder Advisors does, but when do we need to call you? Like, do we call you in our 40s, our 50s, our 60s? Do we call you when a parent is going into a nursing home? When do we need to make sure that we're connected with Elder Advisors to navigate that journey and then making sure that assets are protected?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yes.
All the years.
All of those,
Okay.
all of
Well,
those
then
things.
I'm behind. I'm so behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so our client. Let's tell a story about our client. We have a very standard client would be somebody who is in their late 50s, early 60s. They've come into us because they have a parent who now is possibly facing the challenge and hardship of paying for either a nursing home care or even just for paying for care in the home. Okay, so that client comes in and we're doing what we call crisis planning for their elderly parents. Right. So these parents maybe didn't do anything, didn't set up anything. They're in a crisis mode. And, the nursing home bill is coming in $10,000 a month. The care at home bill is coming in. Those are running $4,000 and $5,000 a month. So we're helping them. We get all of that wrapped up. We've got mom and dad taken care of. We've got them hooked up with the benefits. The bills are being paid. And now I'm looking at that adult child who's in their late 50s or early 60s, and we're saying, hey, do you want to avoid this? Do you want to avoid this pain and heartache and the frustration that you've been through? Because we can help. And then we do a pre-plan, right? So that's really a typical client. I think anyone who is considering retirement, what does that look for? Is my money going to last? How am I going to pay for insurance or supplement or nursing home or just money coming in when I leave my job? those are the folks that need to call elder advisors.
Okay, fantastic. Well, definitely you can check them out online, elderadvisors.com, or you can give them a call at 800-763-7930. We'll be back with Lindsay when we return on the breakfast broadcast for Real Country, WKLO 96.9. I'm Kelly Trask. Hope you're having a good start to your Friday. Thanks for having us along with you here on Real Country, WKLO 96.9. And of course, you found the breakfast broadcast where you'll find us each and every Friday from 7 to 9. Today, our special guest is Lindsay, Senior Vice President of Elder Advisors, making sure that you're staying connected to the resources and that your family's staying connected to the assets that they've grown to acquire over all their years of hard work. And Lindsay, speaking of that, what about the person whose parent is already in either an assisted living facility or a nursing home? Is it too late? Can you help them? Should they still call you? How does all that navigate?
Yeah, 100%. It is never, ever, ever too late for us to protect assets. For a married couple, when one spouse is in care, so let's say, maybe husband's at home, but his wife has maybe some dementia or chronic health issues and she's in a nursing care, we can protect 100% of the assets. There is no reason for a married couple in the state of Indiana, when one spouse is in the community and one spouse is in care, to ever write a check to a nursing home. We can help protect 100% of the assets. For a single person that's in care, maybe somebody who's widowed, that person we can protect usually half or more of the assets.
Wow.
So if somebody comes in and, they have, say, $50,000 in the bank, we can protect about half of it. It is never, ever, ever, ever too late to protect assets. And it breaks my heart that there's people out there that do think it's too late. That's kind of what we call barbershop law. They've heard a lot of things, but they really don't know because they haven't sat with an expert on the subject, and that's what we do for folks.
Well, and speaking of, the first consultation is free, so if you can hear our voices, elder advisors can work with you in protecting assets of your family, even if your loved one's already in a nursing home or a care facility or assisted living of some sort. So just make sure you're making the phone call. Get the facts so you know what to do with different things. So when we come back, we'll talk more with Lindsay about how to navigate the IRA, especially, on your required distributions and all those fun adulting type things when we come back on the breakfast broadcast. For Real Country, WKLO 96.9, I'm Kelly Trask. Talking today on the breakfast broadcast with Lindsay. She's a senior vice president with Elder Advisors, making sure that your family holds on to the resources and the assets that it's worked so hard to create over the years. I mean, here's the thing. People work their whole lives. You don't want to have to just give it up at the end, or towards the end. And that's definitely what Elder Advisors is all about, just protecting the family and the assets. So Lindsay, let's talk about, when people work, they have IRAs, and how does it work? Do you have to take I guess it's a required distribution. It's called that for a reason. So let's talk about how all that works and what people should be kind of thinking about as they're getting close to retirement age, or if they've already retired.
Yeah, absolutely. So retirement, so our whole lives, right, we're like, put in your IRA, stock your IRA, and don't touch it. You don't touch that money. It's for retirement. But then when we get to 65 or we separate from employment of our job, our 401k or IRA, we treat it the same, right? We treat it the same. We're not touching it. We're not using it. It's invested in the same way that it has been, in our 40s and our 50s. And it's like, hello, guys, you're getting ready to retire or you're recently retired. Everything has changed. And the way that you take approach to these retirement accounts needs to change as well.
Okay.
So it's a strategy that we call kind of protecting the golden goose, right? You have spent years, decades, tending the goose, keeping it well fed, and now it's time to live off the eggs this goose is going to give you. And so it's important to make sure that stretches. So the required minimum distribution is, and so an IRA is like an IOU to Uncle Sam, right? They haven't got their cut and they want it. So the required minimum distribution is a strategy the government has to get that. And so one of the things a lot of times folks don't recognize, they have to take it or they don't want to take it, and what do I do with it? So those are all strategies that we talk about. And again, the theme is, the goal is to minimize loss, to protect all of the assets for you, for retirement, so you always have enough. And if it's important to you, that you're leaving something behind for your loved ones as well.
Absolutely. Well, part of that is to make sure that they just get connected. And Lindsay, the first consultation's free, right?
Absolutely, every time. And we love sitting with folks and seeing where they're at and talking with them. And the first consultation is absolutely free.
Okay, fantastic. We'll talk more with Lindsay with Elder Advisors when we return on the Breakfast Broadcast. For Real Country WKLO 96.9, I'm Kelly Trask. Helping you navigate all the financial waters, making sure that your loved one's assets and your family's resources are taken care of, especially if someone is, as we get towards our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, we want to make sure that your family money is protected. And you can do that with a phone call to the Elder Advisors. They are definitely taking care of families in southern Indiana and throughout Kentuckiana as well. And Lindsay's with us today. She's the Senior Vice President, wanting to make sure that everybody understands kind of the ins and outs. And I know one breakfast broadcast and hearing your radio commercials, but people just need to make a phone call to get their free consultation. Lindsay, what do we need to be thinking about when it comes to wills? Isn't that enough? Or do we need to have some other considerations? And I know you guys take care of estate planning, so let's talk about how all that works.
Yeah, so our team, myself and our team, we're certified estate planners. And I think a misconception that we see from folks all the time is, well, I have a will. And I think the misconception is they think a will is enough. And a will is really just your wishes that will be sort of read whenever you pass away. But what people don't understand is it's a court process to do that. It's a public process. So everybody can just kind of get to the county records and see what you have and where it's going. And a will, it equals probate, a process called probate, and it can be so messy for families. So a big misconception is that a will is enough, and it's just, we find it's just really not. It's just not. It's just not enough. So a will is kind of like a Christmas tree, but without decorations.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You want to, it's just, it's basic. And estate planning, I think people hear that and they're like, well, that doesn't apply to me. And honestly, Elder Advisors is here. We are serving a working family, okay? Our families are farmers. They're Ford or GE retirees. They are working class folks that, have accumulated not a ton. They're not a millionaire, but 1 year in a nursing home is running over $120,000.
Oh my gosh.
That can devastate a family who has means that are in, that small range of just having a home and some IRAs, and those are the folks that we're helping protect. It's just such a service. We're service driven. We do this with heart, and we do this for folks who are just good working class people. And a lot of those folks just think, oh, I have a will and it's enough, and it's not, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's definitely good information to know. You think everything's going to be handled, and then you realize it's not. So that we don't know till we know. So definitely make a phone call to Elder Advisors. We'll be back on the Breakfast Broadcast. I'm Kelly Trask. We are wrapping up another great edition of the Breakfast Broadcast. And of course, we couldn't have done it without Lindsay. She's the Senior VP of Elder Advisors. Hey, and here at WKLO, we want to make sure that everybody listening has all the information they need to make good decisions about their finances and how things are going to progress as we get older and we just go into these different seasons of life. And we want to make sure assets are protected. Lindsay, that's exactly what Elder Advisors does, right?
We do, yeah. So everybody just needs to pick up the phone and give us a buzz at 800-763-7930. That's a free consultation. You're in our office for less than an hour. It's not a full day meeting. And I think everybody would agree that it's worth an hour of your time to sit down and just sort of discover whether or not you're protected and what you've worked your entire life for is protected. I think it's just an hour. It's just an hour. It's a free consultation to come in and make sure you're covered if and when you need nursing home care or even just some care in the home to make sure that your IRA and your retirement investments are being utilized and maximized and protected, and that your affairs are in order so and this is the great, this is the thing that equalizes us all. When we pass away, because I'm going to pass away, everybody is going to die, and that's a thing. But the folks that you leave behind, if you love your children, if you love your spouse, if you want to make the road ahead smooth for them, it's important to call us and come in for that free consultation. And here is a fun fact, everyone. Estate planning does not in any way actually hasten death. It doesn't. It's about being proactive. It's about making sure that you have a plan, not even for just when you're elderly and when you're sick, but when you're moving into these retirement years. You've worked so hard. Wouldn't you like to wake up every morning and have peace of mind that you're going to have enough money through retirement? You're going to be protected. If you need health care, or if there's a chronic illness or something that comes up, you're going to be covered. And so I think that's, again, Elder Advisors are service-driven. We're blessed to be serving this community for 30 years, and we are excited to sit down with each and every one of your listeners and make sure they're on the right track.
Absolutely. Make the phone call today to 1-800-763-7930. You can also go online and Google Elder Advisors and making sure you're getting your appointment for your free consultation. Look, just get the information, what you do with it past that point, but do make sure that if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, 90s, 100s, whatever you are, that you're making sure that you're protecting the assets of your whole family. That's just a big deal. So we'll definitely talk more with Elder Advisors. You can listen here for their commercials, and we'll be back here on the Breakfast Broadcast next Friday. Be up for it. For 96.9, I'm Kelly Trask.
The Breakfast Broadcast from